We all know why 6 was scared of 7, because 7, 8, 9. But wait until 7 hears about 10. In late June, ASUS announced the Zenfone 10, which is the company's compact flagship for 2023. And after spending some time with the device, we've come up with some reasons why the Zenfone 10 may be the next pixel killer. So should 7 be scared of 10? Let's find out. Alright, so the first reason why you may want to consider the Zenfone 10 over the Pixel 7 has to do with design. I found the Zenfone 10 much easier to grip in my hands than with the Pixel 7, which is largely thanks to the phone's thick metal frame and flat edge design. Also, ASUS's decision to go with a soft plastic back makes the Zenfone 10 less of a fingerprint magnet and less slippery in the hand. On top of that, the Zenfone 10 also features an IP68 rating, and the screen is protected by Gorilla Glass Victus. So if you happen to drop the phone in the pool, or you decide to take a dusty hike, you won't really have to worry about damaging the device. Looking at the side of the device, you'll find the Zen Touch button, which does more than just turn your phone on and off. For starters, it's a fingerprint sensor, and it works a lot faster than the in-screen sensor on the Pixel 7. Beyond that, the Zen Touch button can also be customized to perform certain actions, such as swiping down to reveal notifications, or double tapping to turn the flashlight on or off. From a design perspective, I'd personally go with a phone with a more functional design, rather than a device that's more eye candy than convenient. While the Zenfone 10's design may not be the most premium looking, its display certainly punches above its weight class. It is a little smaller than the Pixel 7, however the Zenfone 10 certainly knows how to compensate for its size. Unlike the Pixel 7, the Zenfone 10's display supports up to 144Hz refresh rate with gaming mode enabled, and up to 120Hz during normal use. And you can even toggle between the different refresh rates according to your preferences. Display aside, the Zenfone 10 is equipped with a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor, and the unit we tested came with 16GB of RAM and 512GB of storage, though there are several different configurations to choose from. Now, thanks to these specs, ASUS's flagship performed slightly better than the Pixel 7 in benchmarks. From our testing, you can see that the Zenfone 10's performance is comparable to the iPhone 14, OnePlus 11, and even the vanilla Galaxy S23. Meanwhile, Google's Tensor G2 equipped flagship leaves something to be desired, at least in our benchmarks. Then again, the Pixel 7 is a 2022 smartphone with a 2022 chipset, so maybe Google can match or exceed the Zenfone 10's performance with their next-gen Tensor chip. But how do these phones perform in the real world? Truthfully, both phones are going to perform well during day-to-day use, whether you're texting, calling, scrolling through social media, consuming content, or taking photos. However, if you're performing more intensive tasks like gaming, or you're just taking a lot of photos at a time, the Pixel 7 is sure to heat up, and it's not going to feel very pleasant during extended use. Meanwhile, the Zenfone 10 remains cool during light to moderate use, despite its small stature. The Zenfone 10 also features a big enough battery to get you through a full day of streaming, messaging, and browsing with just a little left in the tank by bedtime. Although if you really want to save power, you should avoid turning on performance mode, and you'll probably want to drop to a lower display refresh rate. When it is time to charge, the Zenfone 10 will deliver faster charging speeds than the Pixel 7. The best part? A 30-watt charger is actually included in the Zenfone 10's box. And in 2023, you really don't see that every day. Now, ASUS has also made a few updates to the Zenfone 10's camera system, but are these updates significant enough to take the photography crown away from the Pixel? Let's take a look, shall we? Hardware-wise, the Zenfone 10 features a new 32-megapixel RWGB sensor for the front-facing camera, which should assist with low-light shooting. Meanwhile, the rear cameras remain relatively unchanged from the Zenfone 9. Other camera improvements come on the software side. With the Zenfone 10, ASUS is introducing AI Object Sense, which is just another marketing term for object segmentation. Basically, when you take a photo, the software processes parts of your scene individually in order to provide the best looking image possible. On top of that, ASUS's hyperclarity technology allows you to take photos with a 4 to 8 times digital zoom, and it does this by processing images based on the raw image capture, which should provide you with sharp looking photos despite not using a dedicated telephoto lens. Now, all these improvements sound great in theory, but how are they in practice? Well, take a look for yourself. Starting with a new front-facing camera sensor, the photos look pretty good in the right conditions. But in darker settings, skin tones are preserved, though textures and edges start to look a little smudged. And when it comes to taking photos with the rear camera, AI Object Sense does a decent job in processing the elements in the photos, providing vivid color reproduction and a nice amount of dynamic range. However, some images may look a little over sharp, and you can occasionally see the side effects of object segmentation processing in high dynamic range environments. As for the Zenfone 10's digital zoom feature, we wouldn't recommend going past 2 or 3 times zoom if you want sharp details. Anything above that, and you'll quickly notice a loss in image quality. Now, it's great to see that ASUS is trying to push the boundaries of its camera hardware via software, but let's face it, No matter how hard you try, at least with the current tech that we have, you can't really beat having a dedicated telephoto lens when trying to take zoomed in shots. On the video side of things, ASUS is also rolling out an adaptive stabilization mode, which automatically crops and stabilizes your video based on the amount of shake. Looking at our test footage, the feature performs fine, and it's nice to see some form of image stabilization when shooting at the phone's 8K max resolution. However, if you're running through more uneven terrain, or if you just need more aggressive stabilization, then you're better off using the phone's hypersteady feature, though you will be limited to shooting in 1080p FHD. So is the Zenfone 10's camera, hardware, and software enough to take on the Pixel? I mean, yes, it can take on the Pixel, but it's not going to win in a contest. You can still get great looking images and videos out of the Zenfone 10, but if you're looking for the phone that takes the best photos, then the Pixel 7 or 7 Pro is still the way to go. Alright, so far we've covered design, performance, and cameras, but which phone takes the cake in the software department? Let's find out. The Zenfone 10 comes with Android 13 out of the box. It also has Zen UI pre-installed, which offers a lightweight stock-like experience, though with a few touch-ups courtesy of ASUS. For instance, ASUS has replaced Google's bubble quick settings with classic round icons, which allows you to see 12 icons on the screen at once. In terms of bloatware, there really isn't any, unless you count Facebook and Instagram, which do come pre-installed with the Zenfone 10. Now in terms of software support, the Zenfone 10 also comes with 2 years of software updates and up to 4 years of security patches. With all of this in mind, is Zen UI superior to Google's Pixel UI? In my opinion, no. While Zen UI delivers a clean interface, it lacks a lot of useful features like call screening, Hold for Me, the Google Recorder app, Magic Eraser, and Magic Unblur, which are only available on Pixel devices and in some cases, the web for Google One subscribers. On top of that, the Pixel 7 and 7 Pro come with 3 years of OS updates and up to 4 years of security patches, which is slightly better than what ASUS offers with the Zenfone 10. To reiterate, Zen UI isn't bad by any means. It just so happens that Pixel UI has a bit of an edge thanks to its slightly longer update commitments and because of its suite of helpful exclusive features. So back to the question at hand, is the Zenfone 10 a Google Pixel killer? Well, ASUS has certainly taken a few jabs at Google's latest flagship, but I wouldn't say that it's a complete knockout. The Zenfone 10 has a good design, and it packs quite the punch when it comes to battery and processor performance, which again is really surprising given its size. On the other hand, Google has worked really hard to keep its crown in the smartphone market, particularly when it comes to its camera systems and software. And after pitting the Pixel 7 against the Zenfone 10, it seems that the camera and software throne still belong to Google. At the end of the day, which phone you go for is going to depend on your priorities. If you want an affordable flagship with a durable design and the best processor and battery performance available, then the Zenfone 10 will not disappoint. But if you value camera quality and software experience above all else, then the Pixel 7 is hard to beat. But what do you think? Would you go with the Pixel, Zenfone, or neither? Let us know in the comments. And while you're down there, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified when we upload next. For all the latest and greatest in tech, be sure to visit us at AndroidAuthority.com. I'm Harley Moran, and I will see you in the next one.